Taylormade P790, one of the most talked about iron releases for 2021, but the question is, do they live up to the hype? Now, I've already done a review of these products, but I thought I would revisit them. I've played with them quite a bit over the last few months, and I thought I'd give you some more of my thoughts, having really had time to digest what these irons have to offer. First off, before I get into everything, if you're new to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button below, give us a thumbs up if you enjoy this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, I'll get back to you. I'm going to try and illustrate a point here about stopping power. Now, I talk about that often in videos and in reviews. Stopping power just really means control when you hit the green. How quickly is that ball going to stop once it's made its pitch mark? And the more stopping power you have, the more control you have, the more aggressive you can be. So to give you an example, I've got my P7MC 4 iron. I've got just under 200 yards to that back pin. And this is the club I need. This is the club I need to get there in terms of distance. And you know, it will offer good stopping power, but it requires a pure strike. You know, that's come off pretty nice. It's just right at the pin. And it's just rolling out a wee touch up towards that pin. Nice shot, you know, but I've had to give that 4 iron, you know, my full swing, the full beans, and that's the stopping power I'm getting. Now let's compare with the 790. Now, first difference is this is a 6 iron. P7MC traditional lofts, you know, I've had to go with a 4 iron, with a 790, a little bit stronger lofts, but more technology. And really, I should see this flying a bit higher and stopping a bit quicker. That's one of the benefits that an iron like this will give most players. Immediately, flight a bit higher, should land a bit softer, but it will have the legs. Look at the difference in stopping power. That 790 flying a bit higher, getting pretty much the exact same carry distance as my 7MC 4 iron. But you know, I'm just getting more control, and you know, the more I play with these things, the more I'm realising I think it's time I went to something like this. I consider myself a decent ball striker, but why am I sacrificing, you know, all that power, forgiveness, stopping power, when I can have something that feels and looks as good as this? Here's where the 4 iron landed, what, 15 yards short of the pin, and it's ran out. Okay, it's ended up a better shot, but most of the time you don't want your shots run out. You want this stopping power. Is that even a yard? You know, what a difference that can make. You've got control, you can attack a back pin with more confidence. The more I play with these irons, the more I think I better put my ego to bed. I'm not good enough to play blades, I'm not good enough to play a muscle cavity. I need to start using something that's going to help my game. I play off 5, why am I playing blades? So this is the third 790, and Taylormade say it's the most forgiving that they've ever created. It's got the largest sweet spot. So just how big is that sweet spot? You know, if you aren't quite catching this thing out the middle, does it deliver that almost game improvement style performance? I think the big thing is, you know, if you're hitting a slice or a hook, you're still going to hit that slice or hook. The big thing is the front to back dispersion with these irons. If you don't quite catch it pure as you like out the middle, out the screws, it's still going to retain distance. That's what we're really talking about when the sweet spot's been enlarged, when we're talking about forgiveness with these irons. Really caught that one as thin as you like, but it's technology that's trying to help you there. I've got the through slot speed pocket, that larger sweet spot, which meant that although I've caught it thin, you know, not a good striker anyway, I'm front edge of the green. It's that front to back dispersion where this thing is really delivering the goods. I've already talked about it plenty. Biggest draw with this iron for me is the performance, the speed, the forgiveness. And it's in situations like this where I'm really tempted to put the 790 in my bag. I've got about 200 yards to back pin, and usually with my irons, the MCs, I'd need to hit, you know, 4 iron, hit it really sweet to get it back there. But with the 790s, I'll pull it a 6 iron, and because I've got so much forgiveness, even if I don't quite button it, I'll be middle of the green at worst. However, you know, if I catch it just right, I'll be pin high. Don't want to go long. 200 yards, 6 iron. For me, it's a long way, but these clubs, they just deliver the goods. There you go, caught that nice. I expect that to be spot on pin high, and it is. That's a tasty shot if I do say so myself. Now, I often talk about this in my reviews. Better players look for workability in their irons, so if you go with something like the P7MB or the P7MC, the irons that I have, they offer such great scope for workability. If you see a shot, they allow you to pull it off. However, it demands really precise ball striking and you to be on top of your game to do that. So, good example here, 17th hole, pin's tucked away on the left. If I'm going to get at that pin and avoid those bunkers, I need to hit a wee draw, and that's what this club allows me to do. It allows it to be really workable, so give it a go. And there's the problem, I've not caught it right, so it leaks out to the right, and I'm left with a huge pitch across the green, fairly tricky up and down. So although it offers me the scope to work the golf ball, I need to pull it off. That's what's difficult about it. Step up the 790 on one club less, and to be honest, all I'm thinking is just hit the middle of the green. Who cares if I hit a draw or a fade? If I pull it a touch, happy days. It offers you a scope to be workable. You can hit draws and fades, not quite as much, but to be honest with this thing, I'm just thinking, just strike it well. And I'm probably actually happy to be a wee bit more aggressive with my line because I know that I can cover the distance of those bunkers a wee bit better. There you go, much better strike. It's just going towards the middle of the green. I've not tried to work anything. Who really needs workability? Not at my level. And that's the thing, I don't think many of you need it at your level, unless you're Tiger Woods. You know, what's the point? Are you able to consistently pull off that wee 5-yard draw, that wee 5-yard fade? Probably not. Unless you're a scratch golfer around about neck of the woods, you don't need that. If you're 5 to 15, maybe even 20, you're just thinking good strike, middle of the green will do you nicely. And then if you can get that wee draw or fade, then happy days. And that's what this club allows you to do. Better players demand control from their short irons. If you're going into a green with an 8-iron or less, you want to have the ability to pull off the shot you need to try and set up a birdie opportunity. And with the 790s, the fact that, you know, we don't have as much in terms of technology as the rest in the set, we don't have the through slot speed pocket. These short irons, they really are designed for that sense of control. So when I've got around about 130 yards to the pin, I've got the confidence, you know, to hit this. I'm just going to hit a wee fade into that pin. It should be on the money. And, you know, as I say, you know, these short irons, it's all about control. Some of the others in the set, you know, they're going to lean a little bit more towards power, forgiveness, speed. But with short irons, it's all about control. That's what this set does so well. It blends the best of both worlds. The 790 is synonymous with one technology more than any other, and that's speed foam. And it's a technology that's kind of set the 790 apart from other irons in this category, other irons in the player's distance category. It serves to really soften the feel of this tech-packed iron. There's so much technology in here, but crucially, because you have speed foam, that urethane injected into the hollow head, it softens the blow. It gives it more like the feel of a one-piece forged construction. So you can just hear that wee clip that's synonymous with that kind of better player feel. Just cuts through the turf really nicely. It feels like a player's iron should. Now let's compare with the P790, my blade, my one-piece forged construction, and just listen, because sound is feel. In terms of sound, there's hardly a great deal in it. You know, the P790, it just cuts through the turf a little bit better. But in terms of sound, you know, I'm really nitpicking if I was to say that this blade feels better, and that might just be down to what you've been told all your life, that a blade feels and sounds the best. So some of the most hyped irons of recent years, but for good reason. Now, if you have any questions about the P790, if you think, are these the right fit for my game? First thing to do is go and get fitted. Go and try them out for yourself, because they'll be flying off the shelves like hotcakes. So it's worthwhile getting yourself in early doors. See if you can get your hands on a set. But yeah, any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel, and thanks very much for watching.